Hey there, friends and farmers. My name is John Siskovich, and today we're going to talk about when to take your little cute baby chicks. Oh my goodness, look at this sleepy guy right here. When to take your cute baby chicks and put them out on pasture, on grass, outside, where the magic really happens. All little baby birds, whether you're raising egg layers, meat birds, turkeys, ducks, start in a brooder, and then they're going to move out into some kind of mobile field shelter. And when they're moving around on grass, that's where the magic happens. But there's a transition period that can be stressful for you, can be stressful for the birds, but with a few tips, some tricks that we're going to get in this video, it will ease their transition, it will ease your transition, you will be adding value into your birds. And at the end of this, we're going to talk about how you market that, how you sell these birds after you've made this transition, you've done all this stuff. The production stuff is fun. The marketing, we have to get into a business. We have to maintain ourselves financially viable. And we're going to make some magic happen today here on YouTube. Okay, let's roll the thing and then we'll get started. Pointy, 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 pointy. All right, so you just got these baby birds in, and I love this photo. I've showed it in a few past videos. And our birds, when they come in, are little fuzzballs and don't have a lot of feathers on them. Let's go over to, I got a fake banana for scale, so like, you know your banana phone. This is my fake banana. It's always the same size, and you'll see this as a recurring theme. And our cute baby chicks, when they come in, are fuzzy, yellow. These are like 2 or 3 days old. They hatch at the hatchery. They take a day or two to go through the mail. They come to me. They have no feathers. They might have the very beginnings of some primary flight feathers here, which you can see a little white of their first little feathers. Is like getting baby teeth. Oh my goodness, so cute. And then as they get larger, they start to feather out more. You'll start to see the wing feathers and the tail feathers develop first, and then the rest of the bird will develop after that. Then we get into this weird adolescent phase where everybody was an awkward teenager. I was an awkward teenager. I have a lot of regrets from my teenage years, but I get to make up for it in my adult years. So we start to see some of the breast feathers fill in, some of the leg feathers. But these birds that we're looking at today are Cornish cross. It's similar for layers. It's similar. I have turkeys in my brooder right now. Similar for ducks. You get the little ear right here. Oh, it's so adorable. My goodness. And as these feathers develop, that is the beautiful thing. If you think about a down comforter is made out of down, where does down come from? It comes from birds. And that down traps little pockets of air, little heat in it to keep that bird warm. Birds have a very fast metabolism, which has them generating a lot of heat. And as they develop feathers, they can capture that heat so that they are warm and comfortable and cozy. That is an important thing to know because in your brooder, you want to reduce drafts so air is not rolling over the birds, but you want to have fresh air in there and have some air exchange so they're not sitting in the same stagnant air. I don't know about you guys. I don't like to sit in the same air. I shoot these videos in a basement, but in between videos or shots, I have to walk outside and be like, that's okay. You don't always have to work in a basement forever. So we're developing feathers. Our birds are growing up. This is wonderful and beautiful. And as they get a little bit bigger, here we've got some full feathers out. We've got some beautiful tail feathers happening. Ugly, awkward stage, ugly goose. But here's our banana right here, and our birds are growing up. Now we're getting to the point, I keep Cornish cross in the brooder for anywhere from 14 to 21 days on average. So that's 2 to 3 weeks. In birds, we measure things typically in days because those 1 or 2 days can really matter. Like for ducks, they set pin feathers after day something that I can't remember off the top of my head on camera, but we'll do a ducks video in the future. So your days are very important. It's your days from when they hatch to when they get to you, to when they go to the processor in the field, all these things measured in days. So 14 to 21 days in the brooder, depending on the time of year and depending on your climate. You'll find, and I'll repeat this over again, that the methods are many, the principles are few. We want our birds to look and feel and act a certain way, but how we get there is going to change depending on the person, their personal style, and their management strategy. So in my brooder, and I don't have a photo of it here, In my brooder, I have an indoor space, and as the birds get bigger, I have an outdoor door with a ramp that goes to an outdoor chicken tractor space where they have some grass. They have the outdoor infrastructure that they're going to be getting used to when they move into the field. And as we're moving from small little baby chick phase, let's go back because they're so cute. As we're going from baby chick phase, they're very fragile. They don't know anything right now. They're learning. We want a nice, clean, dry bedding pack. We want them to have fresh air, free access to a lot of water, feed. We'll keep the corners rounded so they don't pile up. We want to keep them compact so that they stay near the heat, and then we expand their area and their infrastructure as they grow up. Now, as they grow up, we're bringing some greens into the brooder. They're getting a little larger. We're going to want to send them outside to just reduce the manure load. We're sending them outside. I love this because the bird is doing a little flapping, filling their lungs. They have air sacs. We'll get into that in another video. I love chicken anatomy. And we have this beautiful, awkward teenager who is now getting used to the outdoors, is drinking from the same water that I use in the field. My iPad is not... So we've got drinking from the same water that we have in the field, drinking or eating from a trough feeder, which they're going to get used to, living in the Suscovich chicken tractor, so that the brooder scenario is very similar to what the field scenario is. The more you can break down the steps from cute, soft, innocent baby chick into hardened off, ready for the field, can live through weather swings, both temperature, moisture, heat. The more we can adapt these birds to the outside in the safety of the brooder, where I haven't put them out in the field yet, but it's like I'm simulating the field, because if I have some rainy, cold days before I get them out, I don't want to send them out yet. I want to lock them into the brooder and keep them dry and safe and comfortable. But on the nice days when it's beautiful outside, I'll let them outside start to adapt, so that when they move to a new environment, it's not a completely new thing. So then we get the big move. We go to the Suscovich all-purpose chicken tractor. We move them outside. And I actually pulled up my weather app for today's weather. I got rain in the forecast. So if I had birds in the brooder right now, I don't want to move them outside, because birds just want to kill themselves. And I don't know what it is, but they're just hell-bent on finding creative new ways to die. And you'll learn over time, as you get more used to your birds, how to mitigate that experience. So rain today, no good. Tomorrow, rain, no good. But if my birds were ready, say it's day 16, 17, 18, even at 20, if I'll keep them a little late, it's going to rain. Because I got Saturday, I got some sun. Sunday, partly cloudy, high of 72, low of 49. Monday, again, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy. And then Tuesday, I got rain again. But if I got a 3-day stretch where they're in the chicken tractor, they figure out what corner they like to sleep in, they see where the predominant winds come from, they're not going to get caught where they don't know, they're all stuck in one corner, and that's where the rain comes in. They don't know how to get out of that corner, even though they have the rest of the chicken tractor to play around in. I don't want to put them out on a rainy, cold day. I want to put them where I at least have a 2 to 3 day stretch of sunshine and warmth. And it's better to keep them a little longer in the brooder, spend a little bit more money, and usually it's like $4 on more shavings or whatever you use, to keep them in the brooder another day or two before you move them out in the field, so that you can avoid rain. And I got a little bit of rain, then I got partly cloudy again, high of 78. Those high temperatures are going to be elevated because in the brooder, my brooder is not insulated. I have heat, but the only way I can cool it down is by fans and opening windows. So when the sun really bakes down on it, it's a lot hotter. In the summer, I can move birds out when they're 14 days old. And if I got a nice long hot stretch, I'll move them out a week early in the spring or the fall. When it's a little cooler outside, my nighttime temps are pretty low, I'll hang on to them a little bit longer. So it's not a set thing of like, move your birds out on day 21. You want to move your birds out when it's warm enough and dry enough for a long enough stretch of time for them to properly acclimate outside. And if you have raised birds too early in the year, then you're not going to have those warm stretches, and you're going to have to figure out next year that you have to start a little later, because you can't start as birds as early as you wanted to, because you couldn't get them out in time, and then you had birds in the brooder when you were getting birds in the male and you planned your rotations wrong, and things cascade out from there. It's a little bit troublesome, but again, the methods are many, the principles are few. You want to plan your rotations where you have nice, warm, dry days, send the birds outside. Now, Cornish cross aren't going to fill out with feathers the same way most birds are. We're going to get these little naked areas underneath the wing. You can see it there, around the neck, around the bum, in this little bum hump. There's a little fat deposit there. It's a fatty area when you process a bird. Egg layers are going to fill out a little bit more. This is a more developed Cornish cross bird. It's got more feathers, but even fully developed in the summertime, they're generating so much heat. Their metabolism is so high, they're not going to spend energy growing as many feathers because they would get too hot. They don't need them, and they're going to look a little weird and naked, and you're going to have to explain that in your marketing. Now, I think I've covered the better part of it. Here's a fully grown bird just enjoying a drink there. Look at the look on her face. Like, oh yes, some cool droplets from our waterer. And we got him used to drinking from that waterer while they were in the brooder, so that when we went to the transition in the field, they knew exactly what to do. And if you move them out on a hot day, they're like, and you go from a bell waterer to a nipple drinker from the brooder to the field, they're not going to know that that's where their water source is, and then they're going to overheat. And even if it doesn't kill your bird, that stress can reduce, maybe 25, maybe 2% carcass yield. But 2% carcass yield over 20,000 chickens is a lot. So anything we can do to mitigate their stress will make for a healthier bird over time. Plus, there's a lot of pathogens and things that happen in the normal body of a bird, and the more stress that you put on that animal, the more their systems are going to get out of whack, and the more they're going to be susceptible to disease. The more you care about your birds and the little details, you notice the little things, how they affect the big things. Little things like knowing where your feed and your water are coming from, so you can manage your energy and your water intake and your hydration, make a big difference down the road in terms of our profitability. And what we're shooting for is a nice big fat bird. Here's that same banana. If we go back to the beginning and we had little birds, oh, look at this. It's like that whole big banana next to that little chicken. And then we come back and we've got a 6-pound live weight bird. It was about 70% process weight from your live weight, which is going to give you your finished carcass. And you can do your projections based on how many days you want to raise them, what your target carcass weight is, and that is based off of how you're going to sell it, how you're going to market it, and what your customers are looking for. Now, if you want to build a chicken tractor, you can get the Siskovich chicken tractor plans, and they're available on farmmarketingsolutions.com. And if you are trying to sell these birds and want to figure out the finances of all this stuff and build a chicken tractor, I have books for all of those things. You can buy stress-free chicken tractor plans, Pasture Poultry Packet number 1 and 2. One teaches you about the economics of broiler chickens. The other one teaches you how to market grass-fed chicken and eggs, so that when you raise birds in a chicken tractor, out on grass, you're adding value. Those birds are eating forage, they're eating bugs, they're getting nutrients, they're moving around a lot more. You're getting, it's just, you do all the work in the field so that you have to do less work in the kitchen. These chickens raised in a mobile structure taste better, are more delicious, and are scientifically more nutritious and better for you, and better to raise as a farmer or as a homesteader. And it's this movement, that move 10 feet a day, that I move my chicken tractors, that's the value I'm adding to my customers. And we translate that information through hyper transparency by taking pictures of our production systems, sharing them with people on YouTube so that they can learn, inspire, and educate the next generation of farmers, or share them with your customers in your marketing materials where you've been taking pictures all summer long. You got to the end of the year, you're frustrated because you couldn't sell your chickens, but you do have all these photos on your phone, and now you're like, we need to update our website, we need to update our game. You start to schedule out some social media posts, you write your newsletters ahead of time in the winter, so that next year you are rare and ready to go, and you've got a group of diehard fans who want to buy what you have to sell. So I hope this was helpful. I hope I answered some of your questions. If I didn't, leave your questions in the comment section for this video, and after it publishes on a Tuesday, by Thursday, I will take all those comments, I will read them live here on video, and I will publish that as an Ask Me Anything video or a Q&A video to get back to you, because it's the easiest way for me to batch process all the questions, because I get a lot of questions on how to raise chickens. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I think you're all amazing. I hope you guys are healthy, happy, and raising lots of birds this summer. Take care of yourselves, and if you can, someone else too. And until next time, I will see you out in the field. That was a lot of words.